This is episode number 322 of the Homeowner Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowner Show. We are so glad that you could join us for another live episode here in the Homeowner Show. Oh, that's me. Sorry.
That's totally you.
It was the delay. Sorry. I had it on my phone. I apologize.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Well, let's do this because we got lots to talk about. Let's go ahead and get our sponsors talked about.
Let's do it.
And we could talk about...
We have some beautiful sponsors.
We got all kinds of things that we want to talk about today, but we're going to go and talk about our sponsors first off because they're awesome. We're going to start off with Lone Star Appliance Repair. Let me tell you guys, if you've got a situation where you're considering getting new appliances, don't. Just think again. Like, take a deep breath. Like, take a step back for a minute and go, okay, if my appliance worked, would I be okay keeping it? And most of the time, I think the answer would be yes, because there's a lot of hassle that goes into looking for new appliances. So, look, call Lone Star Appliance Repair. They're great people. They will take care of you. Mm-hmm. They will tell you if you need to repair it or if you need to get a new one. So for the amount that it costs to have them out and give you a professional opinion, then you could have a really good decision to know either I need to buy a new one or they can fix it, and this is what I want to do. Give them a call. Their number is 936-647-2364.
Beautifully said, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, we also got True Texas Solar and Roofing.
That's it.
That's right, because you don't want a solar company that doesn't understand how your roof needs to be repaired, replaced, or installed upon.
Upon.
That's right. Getting all formal up in here. Guys, listen. One of the reasons that we partner with a solar company and a roofing company like True Texas is because we believe in things like integrity and honesty. And we've spent a lot of time with Josh, who's the CEO over there. And I've known Josh for years now. And I really believe that he genuinely cares about giving everybody the honest approach to solar and roofing.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, it feels like a scammy industry.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of charlatans out there that are trying to get your money rather than provide you with a good, honest service. And True Texas Solar is the opposite of that. They are out there debunking all of the scam artists and the charlatans in the industry and providing you with the most honest and upfront estimates for your commercial and residential solar needs. They got a lot of commercial projects going on right now. And listen, for whatever reason, a lot of the incentives are still hanging around. Why? Trump's too focused on tariffs.
Yeah.
You know, he hadn't rolled back any of the incentives on solar yet. So take advantage while you can and do it with an honest company that's going to give you the best options. And not only can they give you solar, but they can give you energy independence options for your home. You can't get off the grid, but you can have a whole home battery. You can have a generator installed and all of that to supplement the solar energy that you're pulling in your home. So you may not even need to tap into the grid. You can just have a home that's provided with its own energy via its own solar panels, its own generators, and its own home battery.
And we're coming into a time, and we've already had some storms.
Hurricane season is upon us, my friends.
Yeah, we've already had some storms that have knocked out power for people, and hurricane season is coming. If you're considering it, now's the time to get in it because it takes time to install it. So
yeah,
and to figure out what you need, all that kind of stuff. So now's the time.
And I imagine financing is available.
Sure, it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So get it taken care of. Give them a call. What's the number, Kev?
The number is 936-286-8325.
Awesome. And our last sponsor of the day is Crazy Clean with a K.
With two Ks.
K on the crazy and K on the clean.
That's it.
Yep. And listen, this is a product that Kevin and I both believe in. Why? Because we both have it in our homes. And they've been stealing Kevin's son's allowance money for months now.
For months. And he is not happy about it.
He's not happy about it.
Because the truth is, he doesn't have to clean the toilet anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and like, that's a job that nobody really likes.
Right.
But if you're
going to do it, you got to get some money.
That's right. And the other thing is, if you're going to do it, like, make it be some work. You know what I mean? But right now, the way it is at my house, we've got two toilets in our house, and both of them have the Crazy Clean in it, which is zero chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
It is zero of that blue or green colored water that you're going to get. It's just going to take whatever hardening agent or minerals and all the stuff that's in your water, neutralize those things so that it doesn't cause scaling on your toilet bowl. And so now, literally, if you need to clean your toilet, you can even just take a little rag and wipe it out. And
Right.
that's all that it's going to take, because your water is not going to cause the scaling. It's not going to cause the buildup. It's not going to cause all of the difficulty that you have. And that's not just good for someone like my son who doesn't have to clean so often, but it also is just good for your toilet.
Right.
And look, any time you can make your life easier on such a dirty, gross task, why would you not want to do that? And it's very, very affordable. These things are worth their weight in gold. In fact, they last for 10 plus years. In fact, they even warranty it for 10 years. So it's one of those things that you need to go check out. You can get to their website. It's www.crazywithak.com. You can get there. You can find, they've got some bundles available, all sorts of options. Check them out. I promise you, I would not have this thing in my house if it didn't actually do what it said it would do, but it does. It is unbelievable. So check them out. Let us know if you have any questions about it, but Crazy Clean with a K.
Awesome.
All right.
And what we got going on today?
Man, dude.
I guess, I'm asking that knowing exactly what we're going to be talking about.
Sure. I'll tell you this, though, because you asked. Is life crazy for you right now, or is it just me? I mean, so here's the thing.
My crazy season, it was crazy for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
We were out of town for about 3 weeks.
Okay, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So, and we're going to talk about where we were and what we did and all that kind of fun stuff. This is my problem with going out of town is you think that you're going to go rest and relax, but you're always like, I'm just always worried about what's waiting for me when I get back home.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm always playing catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, you guys can like criticize me all you want, but like, it's just the nature of the beast, man. I've got 3 kids. I've got a family. I've got a business. I've the podcast. We've got other things that we're involved with, and all those things require somewhat of my attention. And so, like, when I try and travel and, vacation, I try and relax and not do those kinds of things. Well, like, I end up working while I'm there anyway. And then when I get back, I still have as much going on as I did when I was left. And so, like, I'm left playing catch up
Yep.
with, and my dumb butt bought a horse before I went out of town.
So not only, I mean, now it's a new animal introduced into your home.
Right.
Now you got to take care of it.
Well, yeah, I think.
And then you got to come back and remind it that it likes you.
I mean, when we were out of town for the first trip, my kids were here and they were taking care of all our animals.
Oh, that's helpful.
And I didn't feel like it would be safe, even though like I had a lot of confidence in this horse that I bought. I didn't feel like it was a good idea to leave my kids at home with a brand new horse who'd only been here like 3 days.
Sure.
With the other horse. And so my dad graciously agreed to take care of it. So I took it over to his place and he took care of the horse. Got a little attached to it.
Of course.
Of
course.
And like my mom's called a couple times. She's like, well, is the other horse being nice? If he's not being nice, just bring him back.
No.
I'm like, so you all like him now.
Right.
Like, well, just come over for dinner.
Right.
It's fine.
Yes.
But anyway, so that was part of it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Well, and like anytime you have animals and you go out of town and you don't take those animals with you, like you're trusting somebody else that doesn't normally like coexist with them,
right?
To like step in and take care of them.
Yeah.
And it's just stressful.
It is. I totally get it.
It's the downside to having animals. Like I don't really know how to resolve that. I mean, I think there's a lot of people that take them with them.
Yeah.
I don't know how to take my horses with me.
No, that's a lot of work.
I mean, I do know how to take them with me. I won't take them with me because it's a big pain in the butt.
Yeah, of course.
But it's the price for the life that I've chosen.
Sure.
And I'm not complaining about that.
No.
I wouldn't unchoose it.
No, of course not.
Um,
Well, I'll just tell you, man. Like things have been crazy. Like the good thing that
well, this is like your busiest time of the year.
what is in general, it's my busiest time of the year. Like my summers are ridiculous.
Right.
I'm gone a lot, and I've got a lot of obligations during the summer. And on top of that, like pretty excited about this, but also I'm like, ugh. My son made the All-Star team
Right.
with baseball. And I don't think I told you, but between the time that his regular season ended
Mm-hmm.
and the tournament, the first tournament, which is roughly a month of time, he's practicing 6 days a week for 2 to 4 hours a day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And this next week, which is really when my summertime truly kicks off and some of the busiest things that I do happen, is the weeks that they're getting into every single day. It's 4 hours a day, Monday through Saturday. So like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And we'll see. I mean, hopefully it pays off and, they win their tournament. But, if they win their tournament, then they go to another tournament. And that would be out of town. If they win that, then they go to state. And that's, in Austin. So, it's one of those deals where you go, man, what an awesome thing. Like, super excited. Really, really happy for him. I love baseball. Most people know that. So I'm having a blast. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So anyway, things are busy, but man, I'm interested to hear because we haven't talked about your trips a lot. So I'm gonna kind of hear firsthand how some of these things went. But you started off with a trip to Arizona, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. So we flew into Phoenix,
Okay.
but we spent most of our time in Scottsdale.
All right. Still Arizona.
Yeah. Still Arizona. And as always, most of our trips are centered around food, because we love to check out the local cuisine.
Why not?
Yeah.
Of course.
But we were actually there for a Grant Cardone event. So he and Brandon, what's Brandon's last name? Dadgummit. Dawson.
Oh.
Brandon Dawson.
Okay.
Brandon is his new partner in, I forget what they're even calling it, but the conference that we went to was targeted at small businesses that are in the service industry, meaning like home services,
Sure.
electricians, plumbers,
Yeah.
pest control,
Sure.
AC, construction, remodeling, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And right off the bat, let me tell you, they have built an incredible facility there. They built a theater downstairs, and I think that theater seats somewhere between 300 and 400 people.
Wow.
And the entire stage from end to end is a screen, and it's a long stage.
Wow.
So it's wraparound screens. I will say this: the sound quality wasn't great.
Okay.
It was difficult. It was difficult to hear some of the speakers from time to time.
Interesting.
Probably like my only complaint about the space, because the back side of the space was sliding glass doors that could open up outside.
All right. I love that.
To a big patio. And so every day, if you weren't one of like the VIPs, they brought in food trucks for you to have lunch. But there was also a number of surrounding restaurants in the complex that you could go to. A lot of different restaurants, honestly.
Okay.
And it was good. Like the event itself was good. We learned a lot. Most of it is how to scale your business.
Okay.
How to take your business from, and like their goal, if you get into their program, is they want to scale you up to 100 million.
Okay.
Which
That's a nice goal.
it is a nice goal. I think that sounds appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah.
That does not appeal to me.
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid of work, but that's just not the kind of work I necessarily want to be doing.
Well, I mean, you got to look at it this way and go the route that it takes for your business at the price point that your business is. And what I mean by that is the people that pay you
Right.
to come do pest control services at their house to get to $100 million worth of that type of
Right.
service.
I'm going to be in multiple cities,
Right.
you know, which I'm not opposed to. I'm not opposed to being in multiple cities. I mean, I think I can manage that. It's just like at some point, it's getting to 100 million just to get to 100 million.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you really have to ask yourself, like, am I able to provide the same level of service that I'm currently able to provide
Right.
in that capacity?
Right.
And
And
the answer, who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe it's
I
possible.
don't know. Never
Yeah.
been there before.
Right.
But like, I'd much rather, and I don't want to micromanage, but like, I want to keep my thumb on the scale.
Sure.
You know, I want to be involved in the business to a certain degree.
Sure. You're no longer a small business at 100 million.
No.
That's the thing,
No,
too.
no.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to stay a small business,
Yeah.
man. Like a small business, and most people don't realize this, man. Like a small business is defined as at a company with less than 50 employees.
Sure. So I
Right?
mean, it does not have anything to do with the dollar amount.
Right. If I'm at 40 employees, man, like
Right.
we're a multi-million-dollar operation.
Right.
And so like in order to get to like 100 million, I mean, you're talking about like hundreds of people.
Oh, sure.
You know, which at that point I know hardly any of them.
Right.
Which that doesn't. I mean, that's just not how I operate.
Yeah, you're definitely hands off of
Yeah,
a lot of things at
You know,
that
like,
point.
look, but like, here's the thing: is this is a conversation my wife and I have all the time. Is we want to have that option available to our kids. You know, should they decide to step in and be part of the business, you know, should they have the option to take the business to that level? 100%. We want to make it that easy for them, or as easier than it was for us to do
Sure.
that. So basically, they give you the math on how what your numbers should look like should you want to scale above and beyond where you're currently at.
Okay.
And it's actually not hard math, and it makes sense once they explain it to you, like where your profitability should be, like where your employees like net bringing into the company, like, and then they walk you through like, okay, this is how you weed out the good people versus the people who are just going to cost you a lot of money. So they give you a lot of good tools and information while you're there. They don't give you everything.
Okay.
And this is what I think people need to understand is like you can pay, and it's not terribly expensive to go to this conference.
Sure.
It's just not.
Sure.
I mean, like I think in total it cost us like $3,500 to go to this conference. And what I mean by like is flight, hotel,
Food.
tickets to the
Everything.
event, yeah, like all that.
Yeah.
It's about $3,500.
Okay.
Not terribly expensive.
Reasonable.
Sorry if that offends you, but like that's just not a whole bunch of money.
It's reasonable. It's reasonable whenever you're going all the way to another state. You're having to fly. All that. You got it.
Here's what I'll say about that. People that think that that's a lot of money spent, you know, almost 9 times that to get your college degree.
Right.
Right. And I probably learned in 4 days more than you learned in 2 years
There
at
you
your
go.
college degree. Like pay for good education.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying that like Cardone and Brandon Dawson are the best educators in the world. They probably wouldn't even say that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they would. They're pretty arrogant.
Yeah.
Confident. Let's say confident.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
We want to be friends at the end of this episode. No, like I really do think that they're doing some interesting and good stuff. I'm interested to see what happens long term. Because I met a lot of guys from Texas while I was there.
Okay.
That and not just guys from Texas. I met guys from like around the country that were interested in what they were doing. They're running businesses like mine. And some of them are already in their program.
All right.
You know, and so and part of being in their program is you're allowed to attend any of their events across the country.
Right.
And these are valuable events. One, because like for the very reason that I'm saying right now, I got to meet these guys
Yep.
and network with them.
Networking is huge.
And, you know, that was worth the price of admission.
Yeah.
I met a guy in College Station while I was in Arizona.
Mm,
And for those of you that don't know, we're in Conroe. College Station is less than an hour down the road.
it's close.
And this guy's in a very similar business as me.
Okay.
And he hates my competition in his town.
Oh, and really
And now he knows my name.
interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And he's, 5-6 times the size of my business. And
Okay.
I'm like, let's go, bro.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's connections like that I'm like, okay, I understand the value.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. And it's not a problem. But for most people, it's off-putting.
Okay.
To get into their program, what do you think it costs?
Oh, see, this is the thing. Is like my guess is it's almost like a subscription. Probably it's probably a per year type of thing, and I'm guessing it's upward of $20,000.
Okay.
That's my guess.
It's $40,000.
Okay.
That's at the discount.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, is that like lifetime or is that like
No. That's for the year.
per year? So again, I'm coming back to I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked that it's a lot of money and that it's a per year type of thing, and
Right.
it's not just like a one time thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, you said something just a minute ago that's yes, it's off putting because of how much money it is, and yet
Even if you're successful, man. Like
right,
if you're
that's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
But I will also say there's a lot of people that spend more than that every single year to go to college.
Yep.
So I mean, you kind of got to weigh some things every once in a while.
You gotta weigh it, and like, what are they bringing? And so here's the thing. This is why I think their system is kind of brilliant. One, there's a lot of sharks in the water.
Yeah.
Like, if you here's what I'll tell business owners: if you want to, how do I put this? If you want to understand what matters in making the right hire for your company and for your business, it's worthwhile to go to this conference just to watch how their staff behave and operate.
Okay.
These guys are aggressive, charming, smart. They have a lot of endurance.
Okay.
And they are trained to do their thing. Like, I met 2 or 3 guys, and they just came up and introduced themselves. They don't know who I am from Adam.
Right.
I mean, like, immediately, they've been trained to figure out what my business is like,
Quickly.
who I am, where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And
They
like,
probably are trained to figure that out in the first 5 minutes,
oh, yeah.
if not sooner.
You know what one of the first questions they ask?
Tell me.
How long you been in business?
Yeah, because if it's less than a year, if it's less than 3 years, if it's less than 5 years, they're going, all right.
Dude, I was chum in the frickin' water.
Oh, I bet.
You know why?
Because you've been in business for a long time.
The minute I said 40 years,
Yeah.
they said, "Holy hell!"
Right. And they're
some of them started salivating,
yeah.
but they don't realize that like it's like we've just maintained the business as
Sure.
it is for a long time,
Sure.
at the level that it is.
Sure.
And so like when and then it's like 40 years. What are you doing annually? Like they have no shame.
No.
Like, you don't ask me that.
Right. No, they do.
How dare you?
Yeah. But here's the thing, and this is the thing that you and I've talked about this before. When it comes to business, money doesn't matter.
No.
Money,
I have learned that I'm jesting.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. Like, it didn't bother me. Like, I
Right.
told him. I told him
Because- yeah.
exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, because
And-
it's one of those deals
and then
that money doesn't matter at that
that
point.
changed the conversation
Of course
immediately.
It did.
I was
Of
like,
course it did.
they're like, 40 years, you're doing what?
Yeah. Why? What are you not doing?
Yeah.
We can help.
Can I help you?
Yeah, we can help. I know we can help. Of course. Yeah.
So, but it was good. And like, even then, before I left the facility, I had a text message.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there was, and then when I saw them the next day, hey, Craig, how you doing,
Oh,
bud?
they remembered your name.
Oh, they were good.
Yeah.
They were good.
Yeah.
And they're working commission. I get
Sure.
it.
Of course.
Like, it's sales.
It is.
It's sales.
Yep.
But you watch like we got invited up to like a cocktail hour after one of the sessions.
Sure.
And it was us, and it was like, hey, if you're in these 3 industries, we want you to come upstairs. We've got wine, we've got cocktails, we've got snacks. We want to meet you.
Yeah.
So we went up.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting 2 good guys while I was there. Well, 3 good guys. One of them was like an Italian-Russian guy. He's doing fencing up in Dallas.
Okay.
I met this guy in Ohio. He's been doing roofing for years and years and years. And I meet this guy in College Station. He's like in air conditioning and electrical and all this kind of stuff. So I meet some good guys while I'm up there. But like what they do is they put you in the room with guys who are already in the program so that you have the opportunity to be like, hey, how long have you been doing this with them?
Yeah.
Has it been a good thing for you?
Yeah.
And like everyone that you talk to, that's like, dude,
The best thing I've ever done.
they changed my business.
Yeah.
You know?
Changed my business and changed my life.
And I think part of it is they have smartly figured out, and smartly is not a word. They have
It is tonight.
They have intelligently figured out how to create connections between businesses. And how to leverage those connections, because you'll see them doing it when you're in the room with them. They'll be like, and you can tell who the guys are by the different lanyards that they
Sure.
have on.
Yeah.
They'll go and grab a guy with like a red lanyard, and they'll be like, hey, so and so's here. I really need you to come meet him. Like you really need to come talk to him. And it's like they're making connections that are changing people's businesses.
Sure.
I also heard some really crazy stuff about data centers while I was there.
Oh.
Yeah. So one of the things that they do is they bring in guest speakers towards the end of the day, and is it a 4-day thing? I think it's a 4-day thing.
Okay.
So you'll potentially hear like 3 different speakers
Yeah.
while you're there. And one of them is this guy that builds nothing but data centers.
For what?
For everybody.
Okay.
Microsoft, Amazon.
Okay.
I mean, you name it.
All right.
He's building data centers.
Okay.
Left and right. Guy's
Interesting.
a multi-hundred millionaire. I
Yeah.
mean, like he just found his niche.
Yeah.
And he's the guy.
Sure.
And he was probably one of the most interesting. Like we had like a special forces, like former Delta guy there. We weren't like allowed to like tweet about him or say his name. I don't even remember it, to be honest. So I couldn't like divulge that information.
Even if I wanted to.
Yeah. But this one guy that was building the data centers, what he said was really intriguing to me. And I think our audience should be really interested in it, because what he's talking about. Do you remember the story that we talked about where the guy was spoofing Enron
Oh, yeah.
about the egg?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
So, and that was a joke.
It was.
It was a joke. And like, because he was bringing back Enron was launching this egg, and it was
Right.
like this wireless generator,
Yeah.
nuclear reactor for
put in
people's
your
homes.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what this guy is saying is they're starting to build these data centers in remote areas. And you got to start thinking like North Dakota, South Dakota, Idaho, Wyoming,
Okay.
Montana, parts of, places like that.
Sure.
Even probably Alaska.
Okay.
But one of the things that they already have are these micronuclear reactors.
Mm.
And he says these data centers require so much power that they've miniaturized nuclear reactors, and they're burying them 50 meters below the ground in order to power these data centers.
Like exclusive power.
Sort of.
Okay.
I'll get there.
Okay.
Because this is why I think it's pertinent to our audience. They're burying these micronuclear reactors 50 meters below the ground. Well, the micronuclear reactors, even though they're micro, are still producing way more electricity and power than these data centers need.
Sure.
And so what they're thinking that they're going to do is develop communities around these data centers in remote places. And the incentivization to get people to move there is free power.
Oh, wow.
And so the data centers are going to be paying for the reactor,
Sure.
but all these homes that get built around the data center, they're going to be like, hey, move here, free power for life.
Wow.
Because
That's interesting.
Because they can do it.
Sure.
And so not only are they going to be getting free power, but those data centers are going to have access to a employee pool.
I was going to say, yeah.
Like, it's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. And this guy's explaining it, and he's the one building them.
Oh, wow.
He's building all the data centers. And he's telling us, he's like, look, It's coming. Just pay attention.
Mm.
Like, if you're a home builder, figure out how you can get in these markets. If you're an electrician, figure out how you can get an office there. If you're a plumber, figure out how you can get there. Like that, he's not saying that out loud.
Yeah, but
like he's signaling like, hey, there's gonna be a lot of homes built in and around these data centers when we start burying these reactors. And they're able to get away with it because they're not big nuclear plants that are above ground. They're below ground 50 meters. If anything ever happens to them, it's down there.
right.
You know?
And by the way, nothing ever happens to those nuclear reactors.
Pretty much.
I mean,
we've kind of perfected it.
Yeah,
And I don't want to
that's
be
right.
arrogant about it.
Well, but-
we're not going to have a Chernobyl in the United
no.
States.
And oh, by the way, I was talking to a friend of ours tonight at dinner, and we were talking about Chernobyl. And the thing that most people are unaware of about Chernobyl, it's weird that we were talking about this tonight, is that they had 7 safety protocols that would keep any one of them would have kept the Chernobyl problem from happening.
right?
And they turned all of them off to do some testing. And then like a bright red alarm started going off saying we're overheating, and they ignored it.
Yep.
So
We should also mention Chernobyl is in
not the United States.
it's in the Ukraine.
Yeah, not anywhere close to here, and it's in the Ukraine. And like the thing that, by the way, there are multiple other nuclear plants right next to them.
Yep.
Like, and they were all fine. So like, we're talking about something that most people don't understand, because we've seen like crazy things that have happened,
Right.
And then we just automatically associate. If people knew how many nuclear plants still existed and nothing has ever happened to them, they'd go, "Oh,
It's like the safest,
Yeah, it's
most efficient
so-
form of electrical production
Absolutely.
in the United States.
it's so safe." It is so, like, if we would do more of it, our power grid would be way more stable. It would be way more safe.
Yeah.
It's so much cheaper.
well,
than
I think
the other
what this guy
options.
was talking about is this is the end around.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
it makes a lot of sense.
I mean, because you're doing, again, you're doing something that people feel weird about, because you hear nuclear and all of a sudden they think of like these television shows, like crazy things that happen. But now you're going, okay, look, we're not going to make that big one. We're going to make this little tiny one, and we're going to bury it far enough that if anything did happen, you might not even feel it.
Look,
Dude,
I met a lot of Chernobyl kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And what I mean by Chernobyl kids is the offspring of the parents who were alive when Chernobyl happened.
Right.
And like, it wasn't great.
No, goodness, no.
I met kids, and like what you see is minor mutations.
Okay.
Meaning, I met kids. I spent a fair amount of time in the Ukraine
Okay.
when my wife and I first got married. We did a lot of camps
Okay.
and stuff. We were in Kiev,
Okay.
which I'm happy we got to see it, because it doesn't exist anymore. We have friends from there, and they're like, it's just gone.
Wow.
But we met kids that had like one blue eye and one brown eye.
Okay.
We met kids that had freckles, that the freckles weren't dark, they were bright white.
Oh,
And it was stuff like that.
yeah.
Like things that were like, you see them and you notice it, and
Right.
it's like a little off,
But it's not.
but for the most part, they're like a normal, healthy kid.
Sure.
Now, like, were there other kids that had like problems?
Yeah.
100%.
Of course.
I'm not trying to like downplay it
Right.
at all. Like, obviously, these kids were affected in the second generation of,
Of course.
of exposure. But like, from what I've heard, and the friends that I know that live there and have been living there for decades since, after the second generation, not really a whole lot of effect.
Yeah.
So you can do with that, and then like that's like just my observations
Sure.
from having been there,
Sure.
and the people that I know that live there and have experienced it.
Sure.
But all that getting back to Scottsdale. Interesting town. Not my favorite town.
Okay.
There's so many people that I talk to, like, I love Scottsdale, and just about everybody that loves Scottsdale plays golf.
I was gonna say, if they're a golfer, then they love it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. There are gobs of golf courses, and
Yeah.
the golf courses are beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
Everything else is butt ugly,
Yeah. Oh, well, I believe that.
and it's just sand
Yep.
and rocks. And
It's a desert.
now there are beautiful cacti everywhere,
Okay.
and like the two armed ones,
Nice.
but like really
Yeah.
tall. And those are super cool.
Yeah.
But they're everywhere.
Really?
All over, and like huge.
Okay.
Huge. So just things I didn't know about, like Phoenix, Scottsdale area, which I mean, like when you talk about Scottsdale, it's like it is Phoenix.
Yeah. But how far away is it?
But like that's the thing, is like Scottsdale is like maybe like 10, 15 minutes.
It's there.
Like it's like spring.
Okay. Like going from Spring to Conroe.
Spring to Houston.
Oh, Spring to Houston.
Yeah, it's like
It's right
that.
there.
But like it doesn't have the ability to, because like once you're in Houston, you go to Spring, and then you can go like Conroe,
Right.
or Kingwood.
There's
or,
nothing past Scottsdale.
There's nothing. Well, because there's a national forest,
Right.
and you can't bump up against that. So we went to the Tonto National Forest,
Okay.
and we did like an oasis hike into a waterfall, which, I mean, I was just blown away that even existed once we got there. I mean, because
Right.
it's just nothing but rocks and sand
I bet.
the whole way there.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
And like it is like this weird oasis. Like once water starts flowing, like plants
Yeah.
are sprung up all over the place,
How about that?
and the water like flows to a certain point, and then it just goes underground.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, where does it go? Well, like that's the aquifer.
That's it.
And
And it goes back. It feeds itself.
yeah, and like they say, like if you come after a big rain, you can see a much bigger waterfall, which that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
So it was cool.
So once every 7 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there were, so we did that, and it was like in and out, it was probably like a 3.5 mile hike.
Okay.
And then we went to some ruins that were around, I think they said those were like 3,000 to 4,000 years old.
Okay.
And it was a tribe that had built a fortress on top of a hill.
Oh, interesting.
And like parts of that were still there. And there had been people there that had been like restoring and preserving. And it was really cool to see like all the structures
Yeah, I bet.
that had been there at one time. So we did that. But we stopped at the ranger station to kind of like make sure we knew where we were going, make sure we went to the place that we wanted to go. It's the Tonto National Forest, by the way. And so one of the places when we stopped, she was like, "Hey, go do this hike, and then make sure you go do this hike. But when you come out, make sure and go to Ravens View, because it's like the only restaurant nearby, and it's a super cool place." And so we did. And Ravens View is just this restaurant. It sits outside of a neighborhood that overlooks the golf course, and it's a wine bar.
Oh.
But like, and it's real small, but like super cool place to go.
Yeah.
And it was like our first introduction to like food
Okay.
in Arizona.
Interesting.
And like it wasn't anything special, but the wine was good. We ordered a charcuterie board. It was delicious, and you could kind of tell that like it was the local kind of dive
Okay.
for really, really rich dudes that thought they could still play golf in their 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. And they were all there like having lunch, and then all of their ex-wives were like on a schedule to come in and have lunch after them.
Sure.
But like super cool place.
Okay.
And you could kind of tell like the owner knew most of the regulars, and the bartender knew all and so like the park ranger really pointed us in a good direction. Like it was a fun place. And they have like an outdoor bar that kind of looks on into the inside. So you're kind of getting like that AC
Okay.
hitting you. Because let me tell you something, man. Like when people say like there's a difference between the dry heat and like Houston heat, they ain't lying.
No, it's for real.
It was super hot there, but like we were like, why aren't we sweating?
No, you don't.
Like,
No, I mean, I grew
this
up.
is weird.
I grew up in West Texas. It's similar. I mean, it can be literally be 95, 100 degrees outside, and you just don't sweat.
If you're not moving around and doing stuff, I mean, like
It's
You know,
not.
I'm
like
like-
and you can walk in, be 83 degrees outside, here and be like, I need a shower.
Yeah,
All I did was go get the mail. You know,
you get swampy in the nether regions.
that is not wrong. Not wrong.
So and so kind of staying on a food theme, there's a lot of Mexican food in
Interesting.
there.
Yeah.
But they don't call it. I forget what they call it. It's like a
Baja.
like we call it like Tex-Mex,
Yeah.
and there's like a word for it that they blend with like Mexican and Native American.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
maybe I'll look it up here in a minute. Because like they're famous for like fry bread.
Fry bread.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even know what
yeah.
that is.
Hang on.
Okay. I don't. Do they call it Sonoran style?
Yes.
Okay.
Sonoran food. So like that's very similar to like what we call Tex-Mex.
Okay. Interesting.
It's almost exactly the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, except they incorporate fry bread.
What is fry bread?
It's fried bread.
Oh,
Literally, it's like take bread dough,
yeah.
fry it, and use it like a taco shell.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not every place does it. Most places are like they'll stick with like a tortilla,
Okay.
but like fry bread's a big thing in Phoenix.
I'm looking it up right now because well, that's very interesting.
Apparently, like fried
It almost looks like a sopapilla.
it does kind of look like a sopapilla,
Okay.
and I think it actually shows up in like Indian cuisine from
Interesting.
time to time.
Okay.
Anyway, all that to say, we ended up at a place in Phoenix called the Taco Guild, which was in a Methodist church.
I saw pictures of this.
Yes. And the Methodist church was actually older than the state of Arizona.
What?
So like this place had like taken over this Methodist church that was older than the state of Arizona and preserved it,
Okay.
but now turned it into a restaurant called the Taco Guild.
Interesting.
It was so freaking good.
It looked good.
And they had all the old stained glass
Okay.
and all the like the church bulletin station. And you and I probably grew up with like them putting like the song,
track rack.
where
They have
put
one of those. Oh no, yeah,
the
yeah.
songbook numbers
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. They had that. I
Really?
mean, like, yeah. But like, just a cool concept, man.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. But like, all that to say, we went, Ravens View, Taco Guild, incredible. We had a lot of good food while we were there.
Yeah.
What we were blown away with is Phoenix is an incredible pizza town.
Come on now. Tell me
Like,
more.
And like, what's the name of the? Hang on.
Look. You'd say pizza, and I'm there. That is my love language, pizza. So you like when you say they've got a lot of like, what kind of pizza are we talking here? Like, there's a lot of different styles of pizza, a lot of different ways to do pizza. Are we talking like brick oven type stuff? Are we talking wood oven type stuff? Are we talking like Neapolitan type?
Almost everything that I found there was a wood-fired oven.
Okay, I'm down.
And let me tell you, that's my favorite kind of pizza.
Oh, me too.
So there's this guy named Chris Bianco. Bianco Pizzerias. I think he's got 3 or 4 restaurants in Phoenix now. He got really well known for like his pizzerias, and I think everybody else is kind of like on his coattails copying what he's done.
Sure.
Because like so many places like just have a wood-fired oven, and they're like, we make the best
pizza.
And most of them are right.
They're all good.
Like everywhere we went, man, there was like a pizzeria. And like when I say pizza, like when I from here, I'm like, okay, like you're talking about like a Domino's, you're talking about like Papa John's, and I'm like, no, it's like independent pizzerias. Like when you and I grew up, like there was always like a Pizza Hut. There was like a place you went and sat down. They had like a buffet.
Yeah.
And it's not like that.
Okay.
But it's like a restaurant.
Okay.
And what they do is pizza.
And they do it well.
Yes,
Oh,
man.
my
But
goodness.
like artisan pizza.
Is it like, do they have like, please tell me they have
every
like
single-
red and white checkered like,
No,
tablecloths.
no, not like that.
Okay.
But like almost every single one of them has some version of arugula, fig, balsamic, goat cheese pizza.
Interesting.
Like that
Okay.
That kind of pizza.
So it's very out of the ordinary.
But they have the standard stuff.
Sure.
But like almost that was the thing that I noticed is like almost every single one of them had that like arugula,
Interesting.
goat cheese, fig, balsamic, or some combination therein of
Interesting.
that pizza, which is one of my favorite kind of pizzas.
Sure.
There,
Interesting.
and then they had other ones like that.
Okay.
As well as like your traditional like pepperoni,
Right.
margarita,
Yeah.
like all that kind of stuff. But like all of them had like their own little like versions of artisan pizza.
Okay.
And there were like big restaurants that have it, and there were like little hole in the walls,
Mm.
and there was just pizza everywhere, man.
Yum.
And I was blown away by it. I don't understand.
Why?
It's Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like, what makes this a pizza town?
Doesn't matter,
Maybe
man.
maybe because of their elevation, the crust
Huh.
gets like crispier, or
Well, I would think that it would get
maybe-
crispier just with the low humidity.
maybe
you would think.
Yeah, you would think.
But what kind of wood are they cooking with?
I have
like,
no idea.
because I mean, they don't.
I was
They
there.
importing this wood. Where does it come
I
from?
was there
'Cause,
for like 4 days, man. I did not have time to investigate.
I'm just thinking like they don't have like a lot of like one of the things that you think about whenever you think about like Texas brisket and Texas like smoked meats is everyone will tell you, yeah, you might like this type of wood or that type of wood, but use the wood where you got.
Sure.
So like in West Texas, you're gonna
Unless
get
it's
mesquite.
pine.
Sure. Well, yeah. But like in West Texas, you're gonna get mesquite. In Central
Which is
Texas, you're gonna
fantastic.
get you're gonna get post oak in Central Texas, like also fantastic.
Yep.
But like that's one of the things is you kind of use the flavors of where you live, but they don't have flavors of trees there. It's a desert. I don't know. Maybe they fly this wood in.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. I mean, like they do have trees there, but they're not huge.
No, they're not. Yeah. Well, sounds like it doesn't matter.
They're whatever they're doing it right.
Do more.
And like it was weird, man. Like we would go places thinking like not the Taco Guild. That was like the one exception, but like pretty much everywhere else we went, they're like, "Hey, have you tried our pizza?" It's like, what is going on?
Why? Why are you asking me?
It's because it's so good.
It's so good.
Everywhere, like we did not have a bad pizza while we were there.
Oh wow.
And
That's-
look, we misbehaved ourselves.
Yeah.
We enjoyed ourselves thoroughly and ate some pizza,
Yeah.
and it was all good.
Interesting.
All of it was good.
Because I mean, look, not all pizza is good.
No,
I mean,
and I'm kind of particular.
yeah. I mean, look, I will tell you, the worst pizza I ever had was fantastic, but I still there's still a scale.
Look, man, it must have been a long time ago that you ate at CC's.
Oh, I hate CC's.
See,
but I'll eat it because I
won't.
love pizza.
I won't.
I love it so much. But the thing, but CC's has something.
But this is the point in my life that I'm at. Is if I'm going to expend bad calories
yeah, okay.
on, it's not going to be CC's.
It's not gonna be there.
I'm not going to waste it on that.
Right.
Like if I'm going to ruin everything, it's going to be on something good.
Yeah, let's go to Grimaldi's.
Let's
right?
go.
Let's go to Grimaldi's. Even Pizza Shack, man.
Or
I love-
Crust, man. Let's go to Crust.
Crust is great.
Crust is killing it.
It is,
like
man.
They have some good
they,
pizza at
they
Crust.
really do. I agree.
So like I'm not going to waste it on CC's.
No, I hear you.
Like look, you need to feed like 20 10-year-olds. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm
but-
not eating.
No, right. Yeah.
But like y'all knock yourselves out,
Right.
and then you
The
will
problem here's the problem.
sit on the toilet for the next.
I make really good pizza. That's the problem. Is my kids would tell you that their favorite pizza is Daddy's pizza. So and let me tell you, we eat a lot of pizza in my house. Not just because I make it, but like when we go places, we eat pizza a lot because we all love pizza so much.
Right.
My kids get lots of good pizza.
Right.
They still like mine. So I don't think I've ever made it for you.
I don't think you have.
Yeah, it needs to happen.
Honestly, it's kind of an insult.
Consider yourself insulted. Then.
Right back at you, Kevin.
Here's the thing. Yeah,
I got a finger for you under this table.
Here's the thing. It's getting late. We've been going for 50 minutes already.
Eh.
So here's a question. What else do we need to talk about?
Well, I went to Orlando.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Yes.
and I officiated my cousin's wedding.
Cool.
Yep, we were at the Dr. Phillips house.
Dr. Phillips.
Yep.
I don't know who that is.
Neither did I till I went there.
Okay.
Apparently, he's the one that gave money to everyone in Orlando.
Really?
Yes.
Like he was like the broker
Like
of the area?
So like the wedding was at his old house,
Okay.
which is in the middle of downtown Orlando.
Oh.
And like less than 2 blocks away is the Dr. Phillips Civic Center, which is a massive theater.
Okay.
And there's a whole city called Dr. Phillips
What?
where he owned an orange orchard. And like there's just like what?
Never heard of it.
Here's the thing: like, it's like when you decide you want to buy a white car, and then all you see on the road
It's white cars.
white cars.
Yeah.
When I started looking for the Dr. Phillips house,
Everything
everything
Phillips.
became Dr. Phillips.
Interesting.
And so like my cousin, who's a little bit of a historian, was kind of telling me like, look, he was this massive philanthropist for the city of Orlando that like sort of helped with like desegregation and all kinds of things. Apparently, like he's just like this, incredible person that just did a lot for the city of Orlando, kind of set it up for what it is.
Okay.
But my cousin decided to have his wedding at his house.
Interesting.
Which that's what it is now. It's like a
venue.
It's a venue.
Yeah.
And it usually operates as a hotel.
Oh,
and it's
okay.
got like 6 rooms.
Like a bed and breakfast type place?
Kind of like a bed and breakfast kind of thing.
Okay.
The whole upstairs is like bedrooms.
Okay.
And I got to explore it a little bit.
Nice.
And like every bedroom has like its own massive clawfoot tub.
Oh, wow.
Like in the room with the bed.
Just in his house.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And it was one of the first houses I'd been in a long time that had like its own wine cellar. Because that's where I went and hung out with all the groomsmen and
Nice.
drank a little Blanton's before the service.
Hello.
Yeah, dude, like okay. Like,
Yeah.
You want to have me like in a good mood to do a wedding? Serve me some Blanton's.
Yeah, please.
So the wedding was fun. And it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like his wife came down a spiral staircase on the outside to this courtyard.
That's cool.
It was a beautiful wedding. I was so honored to be a part of it. He's serving our country in the Air Force in the Las Vegas right now.
Okay.
I think he's about to be transferred, hopefully someplace he enjoys. But it was the youngest of my cousins.
That's awesome.
And I've gotten to marry most of them off.
That's great.
So it was super cool to be a part of that. I'm not saying their names because I don't know how much. I know he listens to the show, and
Sure.
I don't want to like
yeah.
out him or
Sure.
anything like that. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you want to protect people's privacy.
Of course.
So, but I love you, cuz. Thank you for letting me be part of your wedding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but like the Dr. Phillips house was super cool, man. Like my kids, at one point during the night, like my wife ended up in tears because we thought we lost our children.
Uh-oh.
Like I literally was outside like harassing homeless people. Going, have you seen a boy and a girl? Have you seen a boy and a girl? Have you seen a boy and a girl?
What?
And what happened was they had hired a ice cream truck
Oh.
to be on the property for the wedding.
Okay.
For the reception.
Sure.
That was there. And my kids both know that like you can have like when we're at an event, like you can have like a dessert
Sure.
and then you're done.
Right.
Well, they found out that the ice cream truck would just give them whatever they wanted.
Ah.
And
Yeah.
and so they
Paid for.
So they convinced a bunch of kids to all get ice cream and then go hide in the wine cellar to
Oh.
eat said ice cream.
Oh, that doesn't sound like your kids at all,
And
Craig.
so like that's how I got to find out what the upstairs of that place was like. Because I am wandering the place like, are you up here? Are you in here? Are you in here? Are you
Oh,
in here?
my
I'm looking
goodness.
for my kids. And then I start going out in the street and there's like homeless people. And like, hey, have you seen like and I'm looking for like which one to kill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And then all of a sudden someone comes and says, we found them. We found them. They're in the wine cellar.
They're in the wine cellar. Don't worry.
They're down there eating ice cream.
nothing to worry about.
And I'm like, it's
Now,
one of the,
now I'm gonna kill them.
yeah, that's like the weird conundrum you find yourself in as a parent. It's like, I want to kill them, but I'm so happy they're alive.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to kill them.
It was like this journey of like I'm gonna kill someone,
Yes.
and it's probably gonna be you because you did something to my children. Now that I found out that no one did anything to my children, they were just being stupid. Now I want to kill
Now
them.
they die.
Yeah. Now they die.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now they die.
It's so funny. But that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, All in all, man, like we were out of town for almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, y'all were gone a while.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So like happy that we got to take the time, happy we got to have the experience, ready to be home for a while.
Uh-huh. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I'm going to feel that some this summer.
Yeah, you got that coming up.
I do.
So,
It happens.
but anyway, I'm trying to think of anything. Well, I mean, we went to the beach. We ate at our favorite places. Here's the thing, man. Like, I'm hesitant to talk about my favorite places when I go to the beach because I don't want any more people to go there.
Yeah, but is it not this weird catch-22 of like you don't want anyone else to go there and like make it be something that like blows up
The problem is it's already blown up. And like, I was talking like one of my older cousins. He was a professional surfer for a long time, and now he's a blueberry farmer, but he's also like in a cover band down in Florida. I mean, he's kind of a jack of all trades.
Yeah,
he's super cool dude. I love his wife was actually in the WandaVision show. She's a professional actress.
You told me about.
Yeah,
this.
I mean, like just such cool people.
Yeah.
I love them. I like, and like every time we're there, they make time to spend time with us and my kids. But anyway, most of the restaurants that he plays are there in New Smyrna Beach, which is where we go.
Yeah.
So here we go. So where we go every time when we're in New Smyrna Beach is there's an ice cream shop down on the beach called Treats on the Beach.
Okay.
Go have ice cream there. You can have lunch there, but like don't. Just go get ice cream. The ice cream's incredible. Just go enjoy yourself.
Okay.
And like I'm not kidding. You're 10 steps from the beach. So like if you're on the beach, just walk up, get some ice cream, go back to the beach, and just enjoy your day. It's beautiful.
Right.
On the other side of that is a restaurant called Breakers.
Okay.
They've been voted the best burger on the beach in Florida year after year after year after year. It's a beautiful spot. You can sit at the bar and just look out on the ocean and have a delicious burger and some local beer. Fantastic spot to stop and check out. Not far from there, around the corner, is a restaurant called Boston's. And it is a Boston-themed seafood restaurant just off of the beach.
Oh, interesting.
They have the best clam chowder.
Oh, really?
They have some of the best lobster bisque.
Oh, my goodness.
But they also have local fish, and you can have, fish and chips. You can have it blackened. You can have it grilled. I mean, like however you want it, you can.
Sounds delicious.
I mean, it's just great seafood.
Yeah.
The place that you can't miss when you go to New Smyrna Beach is called the Garlic.
Oh.
And I'm not underselling it. And this is, I don't mean to trigger you, Kevin, because I understand your wife's affinity for the Italian food.
She does love Italian.
It's the best Italian food I've had anywhere.
Really?
Bar none.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. We've been to some pretty decent Italian places.
The Garlic kicks all their asses.
Okay.
Without question.
Hello. All right.
It is usually at least an hour and a half wait to get a table. They are not open for lunch.
Oh.
They aren't. It is a
They
dinner.
could be, but they're not.
It is the most eclectic restaurant I've ever been to.
Okay.
It is like a maze finding a table in there. They
Oh.
have 3 different sections of the restaurant that have their own bars.
Oh, my.
The only reason I know anything about the different areas of the restaurant is because my cousin's band plays
Okay.
the restaurant pretty much every weekend. And so that's how we're able to get in and actually have a spot.
Yeah.
And so their big claim to fame, so they're called the Garlic. And as you move, most people don't do this because they're just not curious. They're just like, I want my table, get me to my table. I want my dinner.
Right.
So they'll let the waiter, and like when you get there, there's a whole outdoor bar for people just waiting.
Okay.
That are just sitting out in the sunshine waiting.
Waiting to get a table.
Half of the restaurant is not even indoors.
Oh.
You're looking up at trees. You're looking up at the sky.
Really?
And there's just different sections. Some of the parts are inside. Some of the parts are outside.
Okay.
And like you just sort of weave in and out of all these inside, outside spots throughout the restaurant.
Okay.
But like when you sit down at the table, the waiter's going to come and he's going to bring you the specials, and the specials are written in pen on a piece of lasagna pasta.
Oh,
So they change every night,
okay.
and so they're going to bring you that piece of lasagna pasta, and they've just handwritten all the
Interesting.
specials on that night.
That's fun.
So he's going to bring you the specials. He's going to take your drink order. He's going to get your drink order, bring the drink order back. And when he brings your drinks back, what he's going to bring back, depending on the size of your table, he's going to have a wooden plank. And on that wooden plank is a whole clove of roasted garlic that's been in a wood-fired oven
Oh my goodness.
for hours.
Ugh.
And then he takes that, it's on a wooden plank, and then he sets it down, and then he smashes that clove of garlic. And then he pours olive oil and balsamic vinegar over it and a little bit of salt, and sets down a fresh baked loaf of bread and says, enjoy.
Oh my goodness.
And you just scoop
take
up
some, put it on your bread,
and
eat
it.
that sucker.
And it is the best thing you ever put in your mouth, man. And that's the whole experience. It doesn't really, for me, it doesn't even matter what the rest of the food tastes like.
Right. That's it.
Which is magical.
Sure.
Like the rest of the food is incredible.
But that's it.
But that's the experience.
Yeah.
That clove of garlic that he smashes, and then you just get the nose hit. That's the thing, man. And,
Wow.
And like if you can, and like I've been going to this place for 10 years,
Okay.
and it's never been different.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
always the same.
Oh,
Like
I
they
love
figured
that.
out how to reproduce it, and like so everybody knows, like if you want Italian food in New Smyrna Beach,
You go there.
you go to the garlic.
Wow.
Now, could you wait an hour and a half? Yes, you may.
Yeah.
Is it going to be worth it? Probably.
Yeah.
Because
Interesting.
like I think it's one of those places like you should expect to be sitting down for dinner for at least an hour and a half.
Sure.
Order a bottle of wine
Yeah.
because you're going to be there.
You're going to be there.
But like,
But that's why you're there.
yeah, do the thing.
Right.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's one of those things. If you're going in for an experience, don't cheap. Don't cheap on the experience. Enjoy the experience.
Right.
So, but
I love it.
There's lots of other fun, cool places to go. I'm not trying to like downplay the other places because there's lots of good places.
Those are the ones you like.
Those are the ones that we had while we were there. There's
Sure.
another place that has a famous fish sandwich. It was awesome. But we've been going there for 20 years.
Right.
We've seen the place change, and it's just crowded.
Yeah.
So now, is it as crowded as Daytona Beach? Heck no.
No, but Daytona Beach is a whole nother thing. It's the touristy nature of that compared to New Smyrna is not even close.
No.
Yeah.
No. So you've got Daytona on the north end, and then you've got Cocoa Beach on the south end.
Right.
Like two of the biggest beaches in Florida.
Yep.
And New Smyrna's kind of in the middle.
Okay.
Well, and if I so here's my deterrent. New Smyrna Beach, shark bite capital of the world.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yep.
Yep.
It's because the St. John River kicks out on the north side of New Smyrna Beach, and it just churns the water.
Yep.
And
They like that.
Oh, they love it.
Yep.
They love it.
Yep.
People get bit all the time.
Yeah.
My sister actually got bit
Really?
on the south end
Ooh.
because there's actually
like her buttocks area.
no, she got
Not
bit on
that
the
kind of south end.
she got bit on her on the buttocks.
The buttocks.
No, she got bit on her foot.
Oh.
She was in thigh deep water
Oh my goodness.
and got bit on the foot.
Oh my goodness.
Now, so obviously not a big shark,
Sure. But still.
but like bloodied her foot like none other.
I bet it did.
Like because it's like I think little sharks are kind of like puppy. You ever felt like like puppy teeth,
And the sharp.
like needles.
Yeah.
I still remember that day, man. That was
Oh,
crazy.
I bet it was.
She
I
didn't
bet it
die.
was.
She's fine.
No, she's good. Well, listen, thanks for sharing all of your travels and the experiences that you had. Look, I love that kind of stuff because I think one of the things that happens in our life is we get really complacent about where we live and what we do, and we forget that there's a lot of other awesome places out
To
there
go experience.
Yeah. And to spend time in. And if you can, go do those types of things. We encourage it.
100%.
So, and I think that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. which was actually started yesterday. But that's a whole nother topic. So thank you guys for hanging with us and listening to this episode, number 322. We appreciate you very much. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to all of our channels. Send us an email or a message through one of those. And until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.